good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome everyone to Coffee and Sports in the Morning. I'm your host this morning, Mr. William D. Morgan. We got a lot to get into today. We had an awesome day of NFL action. Let me go ahead and bring in the fellas. First, this man has forgotten more pro wrestling than I will ever know. My man, Mo Better. Mo Better, what's up with you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Will. Good morning, Gene. Good morning, chat. I'm fired up, man. First week of the NFL. Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead, bring it on in. Expecting someone else to come through in a little bit. My man Brett, he should be with us in a few moments. But in the meanwhile, let me go ahead and bring in the NFL genius, my man Gene. Gene, what's up?
I don't look so crazy after week one. That's all I'll say. I don't look so crazy after week one. I've dealt with such abuse in TikTok comments, in YouTube comments, for statements in which I've made. And I understand it's only week one, but I'm not crazy. I watch this. I do this.
If you about it, you about it, bro.
Listen.
That's what it is.
Can we start with Hawk Tua?
Yep. Go on, do your thing, man.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it on Friday. There's no show. Like I know Passion Precision touched on it Saturday, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Hawk Tua. Opening night of the NFL, not even one offensive play in, and the best Eagles defensive player was ejected from the football game, Jalen Carter. And, you know, when the video surfaced of him spitting on Dak Prescott, I said, shame on him. He absolutely deserves to be ejected. Absolutely. This is a terrible, I cannot believe he did that. I still stand by that. I think he still should have been ejected. However, y'all need to send a fine to Dak Prescott. Send a fine over to Dak. I understand they're not going to suspend Dak. I'm fully aware that Dak Prescott will not be suspended. But I don't know what some of y'all were watching. I was in soda chats and they were like, well, Dak didn't spit at Jalen Carter. What are you talking about? He didn't spit at Jalen Carter. The hell he didn't. He looked at him. He spit at him. He put his chin up and then smirked at him and started talking shit. Like, am I out of my mind? Did y'all see something different I didn't see? I didn't see it until Twitter showed it. And then I analyzed it like 4 or 5 times. And by the way, Anthony said it right here. You think the track record of Jalen Carter? Yes, Jalen Carter is an asshole. Like, he's an asshole.
Knew that going in.
That. But Dak started that shit. And I gotta bring up one of my favorite Packers fans. He's here. My man, Brett. He's not guarding the 2. He's guarding the 3. Brett, we just talk about Hawk Tua. And Will, Mo, I would love to get your opinions on it. Do you think Dak Prescott spit at Jalen Carter? Do you think he deserves to be fined? And the fact that Jalen Carter got kicked out of the game, I agree with. He shouldn't. There's no reason he should do what he did. However, I'd love to hear your opinion from a non-Eagles fan. So, Will, Mo, Brett, let me know how you feel.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I think Dak Prescott showed brilliance. I think Dak Prescott played off of the fact he know who Jalen Carter is. I don't think that's an accident. You said you watched it a multiple times. I watched it a couple of times, and just the interaction right afterwards, Dak Prescott was smiling. He said, you could see the words that he's smiling. Why would I spit on you? Knowing he had spit at him and knowing how Jalen Carter would respond. I thought Jalen Carter was going to shove him, but instead he shoved him. He spit on him. And I'm not excusing Jalen Carter's actions. I'm just saying Dak was the instigator and got away with it. Got away with it clean. The perfect crime, because you took out the Eagles' best defensive player before the game could even really get going. So, yeah, I don't know how anybody missed that in the moment, but it was so obvious if you really look at the interaction. Dak Prescott got away with the crime of the century.
You know, we see it we see it in sports all the time that nothing happens to the instigator, but the instigated is the one that faces the punishment. And this is the situation here. Dak got away, like you said, Mo. Dak got away with the perfect crime. But I will say this: you got rid of Philadelphia's best defensive player, but yet you still lose the game. So in reality, it good for us to talk about, but at the end of the day, it didn't benefit the Dallas Cowboys. They still lost.
Well, it might have made the game. It clearly made the game a better game than it might have been.
Yeah, still lost.
See, this is control. He did spit on the ground. I understand that, but he spit at him.
Mm-hmm.
He lifted his chin and spit at him. Let's not pretend he didn't spit at him. Right? Am I wrong?
That was just very clearly Dak trying to bait Jalen Carter, and it worked.
He did. He did a great job.
Line and sinker. He absolutely knew that Jalen Carter could react, and if you can take Jalen Carter out of the game, even mentally, a little bit, to gain that competitive advantage, you do it. And he got the best available result. He got Jalen Carter kicked out of the game, which made the game a whole lot more competitive than I thought it was going to be. So,
Agreed.
Overall, yeah, he absolutely spit at him. Like, I don't think there's any denying that at this point.
Just making sure we're on the same page. We never know if Dak spit on the shoes of Jalen Carter. I don't care if it's on the shoes, on the ground. You can't
still spit on the man.
But by the way, you're right, but you can't walk up to him and spit on him in front of an official. The official's right there. Like, he walked up and spit on him right in front of the official. I'm like, dude, Jalen Carter, he's a mess, right? And I understand, and it's going to help us in the long run because if I'm being honest with you, we're going to be able to sign him for a little bit less money than he needs to sign for. For us to win that football game and to take no wear and tear on one of our best defensive players, I'm good. It works for me. I'm all right. As long as he's not suspended for Sunday afternoon football, fine. See, I hate this. Cottrell he didn't do anything wrong because it was smart and I thought it was intelligent that he did it. But let's not pretend he didn't intentionally bait the man. If I was Jalen, I wouldn't even come down to a peasant level like Dak. I would have just laughed and walked away. You don't come down. I get it.
Yeah, but that's not who Jalen Carter is. That's
right.
That's the whole point of the situation. He's not built like that. Look, I love everything about him from a talent standpoint, but he's emotionally immature. He just is. And yes, if Dak Prescott had walked up to him and literally spit on Jalen Carter's jersey, Dak would have got thrown out. So he did what he needed to do to bait Jalen Carter.
I almost I wouldn't be shocked if that shit was pre-scripted. Like if they were like walk up to him and get in his head, like it was intelligent. And Jalen is immature. That's why he slipped in that. It's fact. There's no lie there.
Isn't Jalen still young though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you realize he almost
20 what?
He almost went to jail. Well, he was involved in a situation in Georgia. Jalen Carter is the sharpest tool in the shed. And when you don't have guys like that, this is one of the things people forget. Josh Sweat is no longer on that team. Nakobe Dean isn't on that field. He doesn't have people that he looked up to that would grab him by his jersey and pull him back and like, get the hell back here. I'll remind you of the New Orleans game. I forget what the offensive lineman's name was, but he made mention of his dead friend and broke him in the middle of a game versus New Orleans. And Jalen Carter was uncontrollable in that game. Now, granted, it worked out for us because he was unblockable from that moment forward. But if we're being completely honest, it's very easy. Words can break him. Actions can break him. But I just want to hear your opinions on that. Like, I always talk about the appetizer before we get into the main event. It happened on Thursday. I just wanted to have the appetizer. The main event has to start at 9:10, though. The main event has to start at 9:10. In the morning, we got our coffee. We're ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
Last night's football game was one of the top 5 regular season football games I've seen over the last 10 years. It was an incredible 41-40. And the NFL could not ask for anything more. Scoring back and forth. You got Christian Jackson, MVP Allen, King Henry. It was an incredible football game. and it could be game of the year, and it's week 1. 41-40. Did MVP Josh Allen throw on the cape, or did the Baltimore Ravens choke away the football game? I want to start with Brett on this one. Brett, what are your thoughts?
It's both. It was a little bit of both. The Ravens, they look like prime playoff Baltimore Ravens. When the Ravens fall apart, it's always details, attention to detail. It's lack of composure. It's execution. It's the little things. And that reared its ugly head again. They didn't execute down the stretch. They weren't composed, and they gave the game away. The Ravens should have never been in a position to lose that football game. Whether it be Jair Alexander committing a stupid pass interference right to the ref on an almost uncatchable ball. There's a fumble. There's just so many things execution-wise that went wrong. But that being said, you got to give a lot of credit to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They never gave up. They kept fighting. They were scrappy. They stuck with it. And the end result is they completed maybe the most improbable comeback that you'll see all year in the most insane game all year.
Mo, what are your thoughts on the game last night?
Everything both of you guys said about the football game in terms of it being one of the best games you've seen in the last 10 years, I would co-sign on that. And yet, I was so disappointed in the Ravens defense. I thought this was going to be a top 5 defense. And look, it's week 1, but their secondary looks so bad. And to Buffalo's credit, they abandoned the run game and literally just dropped back to pass over and over again because they could get whatever they wanted on that Ravens secondary. And to Josh Allen's credit, when the Ravens got pressure on him, timely runs, took off when he needed to, took off, recognized the situation, took advantage of it. Again, I felt like throughout the game, even though it looked like the Ravens was dominating, I thought they were coasting. I thought from the way they played to where the play calling was, I just thought instead of just crushing Buffalo, they coasted. That game should have never become the game that it did. As a fan, I'm glad that it did. But I do agree. I think Josh Allen, yes, he put on the Superman cape, but the Ravens opened the door to let him put on the Superman cape.
Will, I would love to hear your point too. I'll give a little bit more perspective afterwards, but Will, did the Ravens choke away that football game?
I think they choked it away. Josh Allen came through, saw the weakness in the Ravens' armor, and took advantage of it. Jair Alexander got cooked. And I was always questioning during this move, was he completely healthy when this trade was made? He got cooked last night. He was their kryptonite. And now it brings up more questions for me with the Baltimore Ravens, because now are we still going to give Lamar a pass on these losses? Are we still going to give the Ravens an out when a game happens like this? It just brings up more questions for me with the Ravens in their competitive fervor. They should have never lost this game. They should never took their foot off the gas. They should have kept running the football, but they didn't. And now it just leaves more questions to me about the Baltimore Ravens than what we're going to see from them later in the year.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't listen. And this happens so often with Baltimore. It feels like they just can't finish the big games. But Lamar Jackson was spotless, right? 14-19, 209, 2 touchdowns. He had 6 carries for 70 yards on the ground, another touchdown. Derrick Henry was almost spotless, 18 carries, 169, 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers, he said, I'm here now. I'm here now. DeAndre Hopkins made one of the best catches you'll see this year. I don't think that the Ravens offense has anything to do as far as for blame outside of the Henry fumble. What bothers me is we're talking about Lamar Jackson or Harbaugh or Derrick Henry, when in reality, that overpriced, high-paid Ravens defense was terrible. And they were terrible at the beginning of last season. Mike McDonald is in Seattle now. We have a different defensive coordinator. Things have to change. You cannot allow the Buffalo Bills, who are super one-dimensional, to just march up and down the field. Buffalo ran the ball 31 times for 108 yards. Take away Josh Allen's runs, because a lot of them are scrambled. They ran the ball 17 times for 77 yards. They threw the ball 46 times for 400 yards. Your secondary boasts not one, not two, but three potential Hall of Famers, all pro players. Marlon Humphrey, Jair Alexander, Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton. Their secondary is loaded. And you threw for 400 yards. And by the way, someone help me understand, who's the Buffalo Bills' number one receiver? I mean, Keon Coleman looked like he was goddamn Jerry Rice last night. Couldn't be stopped. Like, what do we do? That is 100% on the Ravens secondary. Jair Alexander got toasted by Joshua Palmer. Yeah, the same Josh Palmer that barely could make the Chargers roster was toasted by Jair. It's a Baltimore defense thing. And man, it doesn't look good. Like if you're a Ravens fan, what is your confidence level for you to head into the playoffs this year? Another big game, another like playoff like atmosphere. I get it's week one, and another Mark Andrews dropped it. The defense wasn't as like another one of those situations.
Let me a real quick question, Gene. Did you see the interaction between the announcers and when Ray Lewis kind of walked by?
No, I didn't.
So Ray Lewis walks by Rodney Harrison, and I forget the other announcer's name, right before the game, and Ray Lewis says, with all the talent they have on defense, the beauty of this defense is you don't have to coach it. Just let them hunt. They'll dominate. And it was right. That's exactly what he said. And then the game happened, and I was like, man, Ray's going to regret that.
You don't have to coach it.
It really – I do agree that it's got to fall mainly on the defense, but I think once again, a big chunk of that does, I think, also have just to fall on the coaching and just Harbaugh. Like these are the same problems that they seemingly run into every big playoff game. They fail to execute, attention to detail, discipline. It's the little things, and it's not like that. I can be confident 4 months from now they'll fix it. They've been having these problems for 10 years now with John, ever since they won that Super Bowl.
Yep.
So it's one of those things that while I think a lot of this has to be on the defense, like I think at some point, like they got to start asking themselves, is Harbaugh really going to be the guy for this? Because if I'm having the same problems for the last 10 years and it's costing me in every big game for the last, 10 years, like at some point they're really gonna have to have an uncomfortable conversation about the coaching staff in Baltimore.
They'll beat the sisters of the poor. We all know this. They'll beat lesser teams. They'll beat them. But when you are against it in crunch time, more than likely they're gonna fold, and that's not good for you being a Ravens fan.
Punting it back to Josh Allen was crazy.
That's not good.
That is the 4th and 3. That's the one thing I could argue with people all day. There's no way I'm giving Josh Allen that ball. 4th and 3. I need 3 yards. I have Lamar Jackson. I have Derrick Henry.
Yep.
100%.
Zero chance I'm punting that ball.
Yep.
I don't care where it's at. I don't care if it's at my own 30.
Either. I'm getting that first.
Even if it's at your own 30 and the Bills score a touchdown or kick a field goal, you get an opportunity to touch the football again.
Yep.
No way. There's zero chance I'm doing it. Harbaugh needs to change the scenery. Okay. New defense shouldn't give up 16 points in 4 minutes. Yeah, but out of the 16 points, that fumble by Derrick Henry hurt. It's a very rare fumble for Derrick Henry. I agree. All right, we got to move on. We got a lot of games to cover, but I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Was the main event. The main event of the evening. I want to start at the 1 o'clock hour. Now, guys, actually, you know what? I don't want to take my victory lap from Friday yet. You guys remember my 3 bold predictions headed into the season?
Oh, man, I don't think I was here for those.
I said the Chargers will win the AFC West.
I agreed with that.
Okay.
And I kind of added to that, like the 1B of that is I think the Chiefs start 1 and 3. I said it before the season started. You're an idiot. You don't know football. Okay, cool. We'll find out. I could be wrong.
Mhm.
I think the Chargers win the AFC West. My second bold prediction was I don't think the Lions make the playoffs. We're going to talk about that in a minute because you see my man Brett down there 1-0 by Detroit. I don't think the Lions make the playoffs. The interior of that offensive line looks terrible. And the third one I said is I think Justin Fields could have 3,500 yards and 30 touchdowns this year. And people are like, you're out of your mind. You're a crazy person. Let's talk about the best game in the 1 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers versus the New York Jets. That was a great football game. That shit was cinema. 34-32. Boswell has a 60-yard field goal. We want to talk about last night being a great game. That was a great game, too. We had two amazing, great games.
Facts.
Let's talk about the Jets versus the Steelers. What did you see from the Jets? What did you see from the Steelers? By the way, this doesn't get talked about enough. I think Justin Fields should run for that first down on fourth and 3.
He did, Gene, he did everything right in that game. It's the best game I've seen him play in a minute, but he was terrific in that game. He did everything right up until that play where he threw a medicine ball and got Wilson blown up.
Yeah.
And if he and you go back and watch it, if he runs, he's got the first down easy. It's not even close.
100%.
And at the last minute, he decides to get Garrett Wilson destroyed. And it was his one really bad decision. I thought watching that game, it showed everything good about Justin Fields and what he could be. Everything good about him. The decision making, he took care of the football, he ran when he needed to. He looked like the guy that you'd been talking about all this time. And I really thought they were going to win that football game. The funny thing is, if you watch that game, it played out a lot like the main event, the first game we talked about.
Yeah.
One turnover turned that game on its heels, and the Steelers scored 2 touchdowns in the span of like 50 seconds.
Yes.
And that one turnover basically kind of destroyed everything for the Jets because they had all the momentum and total control. But I thought Justin Fields was terrific.
Key Williams has posted the point. The point is correct. It was the Bears, not Fields. I've always believed that. I said quarterbacks do not get to be. Do you guys remember the Lakers documentary? I know Mo does. The Lakers documentary where they sit down with Magic Johnson at the dinner table. It's all actors, reenactment, whatever. And they're like, well, we have to let you know, son, we haven't decided on our pick. And Magic goes, well, I haven't decided on a team yet. He's like, this is a draft. You don't get a choice to play. You can play where you're drafted. Or he's like, or I could go back to college. I feel like Justin Fields couldn't decide his team until this year. He decided Ohio State. We can all agree he looked good at Ohio State. He didn't decide Pittsburgh. The Bears did. He didn't decide Chicago. The Bears did. I can't. I will not sit here and go down and tell. Listen, you remember the whole Jay-Z expression, Will? I heard him up saying they made Hove. I said, okay, then make another Hove.
Yes, sir.
It's not Justin Fields.
Yes, sir.
That was the issue at quarterback. I need you to tell me who the quarterback that the Bears have. Their franchise ruins quarterbacks. Give me your take on Steelers versus Jets. Will, Mo, Brett.
First of all, I think I slept on Aaron Rodgers. I didn't think he was going to be very good with that team this season, but he played well yesterday. Despite everything that went against him, bad offensive line, DK Metcalf not being able to run any routes, but he played well yesterday. Congrats to him. And I've been rooting for Justin Fields this whole time because I always thought that he was given a bad break as well. So both guys played well. Looking forward to see what Justin can do with the Jets this season. But Aaron Rodgers, he bought that yesterday, and I got to give him credit for that.
I'll just add one more thing. Look, Aaron Rodgers did play really well, but that Steelers defense, they got some problems.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Ravens defense being overrated. That Steelers defense, they were not good. They couldn't stop the run or the pass. Like, I don't see the Steelers winning a lot of shootout games like this. Like, they pulled this one out, but that turnover helped. But if this is how their season is going to go, like I said, I'm still going to stick to what I said I still think this is going to be Mike Tomlin's last year.
I love what franchise said. Week 1 is always the funnest week. You never really know what's going to happen. I don't know, man. I feel like this week I've been pretty spot on. Bull here, Brett.
Hey, to his credit, Daniel Jones looked like a top 5 quarterback from Sunday. So you know
He
what? I get
did.
it.
Comparable quarterback play.
When it comes to the Steelers and Jets, Justin Fields, fantastic game. When it comes to the Steelers defense, it was interesting because they just straight up look old and slow. It really was. They were breaking them because they were running any complex routes or scheme. Half of it was just them running a read option and then just straight up beating the Steelers defense to the outside. Like, it almost just felt like the Steelers defense, and I'm sure they'll round into shape, give him a couple weeks, but that just defense looked old and slow. And if they want to do a lot better, they just got to get tougher against the run. Like, they can't just let themselves get bullied, and they can't just get beat to the edge every time. But at the end of the day, I'm really happy about that game. It turns out maybe Aaron Rodgers still has something left in the tank. And, hey, hopefully enough that I can see him in the playoffs one more time. So, overall, that was just the funnest game I could possibly watch at the 1 o'clock slate.
The thing that got me was the fact that we talk about Jaire Alexander. Jalen Ramsey didn't look good yesterday.
Jalen Ramsey actually made the biggest play of the game, though. 2 biggest plays of the game. Darius Slay got burnt toast.
Yeah, he
by
did.
Garrett Wilson on the over the top. But I want to ask you this, Brett, and I think it's the love of Aaron because he was a Packers quarterback for so long. But did you hear his post-game press conference? What he said? Like, he's a jerk off. Like, I don't understand. Like, he's an I'll tell you right now, I don't think there's one person that's soured more on Aaron Rodgers in the past 3 years than me. He's a jerk off. Did you hear his post-game presser?
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'll miss him when he's gone. Like, nobody gets more petty than Aaron Rodgers. Like, to an extent, that is something that I will miss. He is an absolute jerk off, but that's kind of part of the funny appeal of him, especially with his press conferences. So, you know what? At the end of the day, it absolutely is because he is my franchise's all-time greatest quarterback. But you know what? He's my jerk off, so it's all right. I'll take it.
Let's take it. His comments, and if you didn't hear them. He said that they asked him, does it feel good to beat the team that didn't want you? And Aaron Glenn basically told you they didn't want you. And he goes, it feels good beating anything associated with the New York Jets.
Right.
I want to beat everyone associated with the New York Jets. Now, Cottrell said, so you're right, Gene, but at the same time, Aaron Glenn did say, we don't want you. He did. He did say that.
Can we be? But I don't mean to interrupt, Gene. But can we be fair? Yeah, I believe what you just said. He is the jackass. But as a Steelers fan, that's what you want to hear. I mean, it's good to beat anything. It's good to beat your opponent.
As a Steelers fan, this is what I want to hear, Will. As a Steelers fan, as a Steelers fan, this is what I want to hear. If I'm a Steelers fan, what I want to hear is, it feels good to get a win week 1 in the NFL season. We have another big game next week, and we want to get off to a 2-0 start. I don't want you talking about your ex-girlfriend. I don't want it. That your ex-girlfriend, you won the divorce, you got the house, you got week 2 ahead of you. Like, let's stop. Just, I'm on the week 2. Give me a little Bill Belichick. We're on the San Francisco. I don't know who they're playing week 2.
No, I agree. Because what happens if a few weeks from now the Steelers are 1-4? Is he going to be that cocky?
Correct.
Oh, hell no.
Correct.
No.
I love that. That was a great comment. Do want to talk about another game in the 1 o'clock hour. I didn't think I'd be talking about 2 games in the 1 o'clock hour, but I am. There's just a lot to get into this week. I'm sorry if I'm missing your team. By the way, you want to talk about somebody catching a stray? Can someone please tell me what Drake May has done to earn all this? Like, he's a franchise quarterback because he looked like shit again yesterday. And everyone tells me all the time, he's great. He's this. He stinks. I mean, I'd say he stinks yet. He doesn't look good. And I keep hearing how great I don't want to get into it. Let me move on. Daniel Jones, the QB1 of the 1 o'clock hour. I guess I will be on my ledge and say it. Shane Steichen is a great coach. I said Daniel Jones would look better in Indy than he did in New York. However, we're not going to pretend that the Miami Dolphins didn't look like a team in disarray. We're not going to pretend that the Miami Dolphins didn't look like a team that quit on their head coach. We're not going to pretend that the Miami Dolphins showed up to that game like, yeah, I don't really believe in the program anymore. I'm going to have to see Daniel Jones do it against a good football team or another football team before I start labeling him comeback player of the year, Carmike. I'm not there. Now, did he make some good throws? Yes. Miami looked cooked. They looked terrible. And all the reports coming out of Miami were Tyreek Hill's in the media. They took his captain away. Tyreek Hill's in the media talking about, well, Devin Achane shouldn't be running short yardage. Like, shut up. You're the wide receiver. You're not the coach. Oh, Devin Achane shouldn't be in for short yardage. And they asked Devin Achane about that, and he kind of laughed it off, but you could tell it was awkward. Is Daniel Jones back, or is it fool's gold, Brett?
Yeah, no, that's the biggest fool's gold I've ever seen. Look, I think that game yesterday said more about the Dolphins than it did Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones didn't have to make any crazy plays. He didn't have to really, do anything over the top. He just made the smart plays, and that's all you needed to do. Because on the other side, the Dolphins were busy beating themselves. Say Tua was sailing passes right to safeties, hitting linebackers in perfect stride. Like, the entire Miami Dolphins melted down. At that point, all Daniel Jones had to do, take care of the football and just keep getting first downs to get into field goal range. I think yesterday more so just showed how close Mike McDaniels is to getting fired more than it showed anything about Daniel Jones.
By the way, the chat is popping. I appreciate
it.
Y'all popping today. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I appreciate you. Mo, are you buying Daniel Jones stock?
I'm going to be consistent with what I said before the season. If they get comparable play from Daniel Jones, Colts are going to win that division. So I
love that.
I said that. Look at the Colts offensive line. Look at the surrounding talent. One of the best running backs in football, Jonathan Taylor, a good defense. They just need Daniel Jones to take care of the football, not lose football games. And if they get comparable play for them, they're going to win that division. They're the most balanced team in that division. Look at the rest of that division and tell me who's better. Like, I know everybody loves the Texans. Their defense is going to be fine, but the Texans' offense, they're not going to be that good. They're not going to be that good.
Damien has – I'm not going to lie to you. This is the best comment Damien's ever given us. Really, are we going to talk about and say DJ is now good after beating the Free Willies? I love that. I love that. That was great. Cam Ward had confident receivers. They could have beat the Broncos. I don't disagree with that. Cam Ward looked
they were
really
right
good.
there.
Right. And I'll tell you what else looked good. Titans offensive line looked good. Titans defense.
You were right there yesterday.
Yo, if I told you after week 1 that the Jaguars and Colts would be leading the division, the Texans, I don't know. It's an interesting, we'll see how that works. The Texans defense looked really good. But Daniel Jones, is he fool's gold?
He's fool's gold, but he's also playing with house money. He could be, under Shane Steichen, he could be possibly a very good game manager. All they got to do is keep tempo, make sure he doesn't turn the football over. You got one of the greatest running backs in the game right now, Jonathan Taylor on your side. You got talent on the outside. You got a good defense on the other end. All they got to do is take care of the football. Yeah, yesterday was fool's gold, and you can't expect that from him each and every week. But all you got to do is be a game manager, not turn the football over, and the Colts win that division. I agree with Mo.
Listen, I feel like 9:35. We just need to stamp it. 9:35 a.m., 8:35 in Brett's time.
Yep.
Is Brett time. Brett, I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pass you the mic. And look, we both called it. You called it a lot stronger because you're a Packers fan. But we both called. I think Detroit's a bunch of frauds. And the Green Bay Packers looked awesome yesterday. Jordan Love. The Love Boat was singing. The defense looked good. Micah Parsons said a comment in the press conference that I thought was very interesting. He said, I ain't never not played with a Pro Bowl corner because I get pressure on the quarterback and the corners look better. I said, I love the line. It was a bar.
Bars.
Brett, let me pass it to you. Give me the breakdown. Tell me how it went. Tell me how you felt.
I thought that was just a very impressive win in general. I thought the game would be a little closer. I predicted the Lions would at least keep it close. But the Packers came out and they seemingly wanted to make a statement. This was a game where Green Bay struggled to establish the run, and we found ourselves in a lot of third and longs. And the offensive line delivered a flawless game. They kept Jordan Love upright all game. Jordan Love was delivering strikes all game. Tucker Kraft, Romeo Dobbs, Jane Reed. Those were all just 3 dots, and that was just the first quarter. When it comes to, the defense, yeah, we saw the impact of Micah Parsons before he even recorded his first sack. He recorded 2 first-half pressures, and the first one, it caused a 2-yard loss on a pass to Jahmyr Gibbs that Jared Goff had to get out. The other one led directly to the Evan Williams interception. This was a defense that decided that they were going to send a message. And they did it to Detroit, who clearly was missing, Ragnow. That interior of the line was just getting blown up every chance they got. And, of course, there's a lot of talk about just run the ball, run it right at Micah, just run. The Packers held the Lions to 46 yards on 22 rushes. They absolutely bullied them in the run game, too, and Micah set the edge. It's like he heard the criticism, and he made sure to show out that, hey, you can't just run directly at me. That's not how this works. So, overall, I thought you couldn't have asked for a better game from the Packers. The only thing you can really criticize are the couple of Jordan Love throws in the third quarters that should have led to a pick six, but it got called back because of a penalty and the one to Alex Anzalone. But overall, Jordan Love played a almost flawless game. The offense was running on all cylinders, and the defense was just elite. And if we do that, the defense plays like it did against the Lions, Packers are just going to be an absolutely tough game, regardless of who we're going up against.
I think the Packers looked great yesterday. Their defense looked awesome. Brett's been raving about the Packers defense since last year. Got a couple more pieces this year, and I think the Packers are listen, franchise said it a minute ago. Comments are rolling. I appreciate it. The Packers might be our biggest threat in the NFC. If you didn't know, franchise is an Eagles fan, I get that. Come on, Cottrell. Jump on the Lions. They're gonna suck. Jump on the Lions. They're gonna suck boat. I said 8-9. People are like, you're out of your mind. You're an idiot. Okay. We'll find out. A lot of comments. They didn't need Kenny Clark, not versus the interior of that Lions line. Let me be very clear.
They need him later, though.
Starters, 2 new guards and a new center. And was it me or did Dan Campbell look friggin' lost? Like he looked over to see if if Ben Johnson was going to call play for him. Because Ben's not here anymore. He's not here. Mo, what were your thoughts on that game?
I was impressed with the Packers' defense and their speed of their defense. The Lions got no yards after the catch. There was no yak. Like Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 receptions. What did he have? 10 receptions for like 30 yards. He made history. The least amount of yards and 10 receptions in the history of football ever. Like he made history for the wrong and Jahmyr Gibbs is a beast in space. But every time he caught those swing passes, there was a Packer right there. Like those Packer linebackers, the DNs, the speed they showed, they were swarming to the football. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who really, he does operate in the hashes, nothing for him. And you can tell the frustration late in the game. He's taking swings at guys. Like your offensive coordinator, it's not just the system that he runs or the plays that he calls, it's when you call the plays. It's recognizing when there's matchups or there's mismatches. I felt like the play calling in Detroit, it looked lost. And I get it. You lose a Pro Bowl center who's the captain of your offensive line, that's going to affect you. It's no secret. Everybody knows if you get pressure up the middle against Jared Goff, he's a completely different quarterback. Completely different quarterback because he's not really mobile. It's not his nature to move and try to throw the football. I agree with Gene. I said before the season I thought the Lions would take a step back. I already had the Packers winning the division. It's week 1, but it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't win 9 games. I don't know if they will, but if that offensive line is going to represent them this way throughout the season, this will not be the offense we've seen the last 3 seasons.
I mean, you can't live on Jared Goff throwing the ball 39 times. It's not not going to work. Will, tell me about the Packers Lions and what your thoughts. Are you ready to jump on the boat?
I'm not ready to hate on Detroit just yet, but yesterday they looked terrible. That Green Bay Packer defense was all over the place. They were well prepared for everything that Detroit wanted to do. Let's look at it from this point. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery to some extent, Jameson Williams. They have explosive talent, and they got bottled up like no other yesterday. That defense was well prepared to take on the challenge. You got to give them credit to that defensive coordinator. Now, I do think Detroit will come back, get week 2, and be a little bit better. But yesterday, they weren't ready to play.
Last game I kind of want to touch on before I get into my Friday night victory lap. I feel like the San Francisco 49ers are absolutely snake bitten. It's looking like George Kittle is going to miss some serious time. Hamstring is pulled. He said he felt something.
No.
But with all that said, that 49ers defense, even with all that happening, looks legit again. I said it before and I'll say it again. Robert Saleh was the best free agent signing this offseason for the 49ers.
David.
Listen, outside of JSN, no one could catch the ball on Seattle. And they couldn't run. They ran the ball for less than 3.5 yards per carry.
Yep.
Facts.
The 49ers, Brock Purdy, let's get outside of, by the way, Brock Purdy threw 2 bad interceptions. Not close, bad interceptions.
4. They just
They
can catch 2.
It's fair. But your thoughts on the 49ers losing George Kittle, Mo? I kind of want to get your opinion on it. I get everybody's take on their team outside of the worst team in football, which is the Saints. So we're going to skip over Will. I'm kidding.
No, we're not the worst team. The Browns the worst team, but go ahead.
I'm kidding.
No, it's a devastating loss because Kittle is actually, even though he's a tight end, he's currently your best vertical threat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also key to your run game because he's one of the best blocking, if not the best blocking tight end in football. It's a devastating loss to an offense that I think was going to be a work in progress with him healthy. It's just going to make it that much harder to move the football. You were right about Robert Saleh. You said this before the season started. He was the best. I was happy to have him back, but you're right. Best pickup in the offseason. His defense was pitching a masterpiece. If you watch that game, Sam Darnold had 99 yards passing with like 2 minutes left in the game. They did nothing offensively. The only reason that was a close football game because Brock Purdy kept giving them the football. Brock Purdy was awful until that game-winning drive. And even on the game-winning drive, his game-winning touchdown pass, pure luck. That was a terrible pass.
Horrible pass.
That was horrible. The DB misplayed that completely. Like, no, he had the reaction time of a turtle. Terrible. Look, I'll take the win, and I think the defense is going to be terrific. But I have concerns about the offense with George Kittle. But without George Kittle, with the offensive line not being as dominant, it's going to be a struggle.
They're going to beat the shit out of Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he had over 30 touches in week 1. And now no Kittle. And that pass he threw to Jake Tongs, who is the backup tight end for the 49ers, was so bad, and Jake Tongs just went in front of the quarterback and goes, "My ball." Like that was crazy. But I just wanted to get Mo's opinion on the 49ers. I don't want to keep it too long. It's not the biggest game of the week, but I do need to do a quick victory lap. I was told the Chargers can't beat the Chiefs. I was told the Chiefs are going to get all the calls. I was told, well, as long as they have Mahomes, they're going to win football games. I'm not saying that the Kansas City Chiefs are not. I remember Chase called me an idiot. Tony Gladstone called me an idiot. Massive people in the comments called me an idiot. I'm telling you, the Chiefs are not winning that division.
You got the list down.
That is the listen. I know that's not a Chargers hat that you have on, Will, but it might as well be. The Chargers are winning that division. Go Chargers, go! And if anybody's like, "Oh, well, it wasn't. It was a really close game." No, it wasn't. No, do you want to know how not close that game was between the Chiefs and the Chargers? The Chiefs never had the ball with the opportunity to tie or take the lead in the fourth quarter. And the Chargers kneeled the ball. So don't lie to yourself. Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, Omarion Hampton, and that Justin Herbert, and that Chargers offense is going to be great. And that Chargers defense is going to continue to ball. The Chiefs are going to start the season 1-3. You heard it here first. What are your thoughts on Chiefs Chargers, Brett?
I'd say it was clear what the Chiefs wanted to do right from the jump. They were playing the run really hard. They wanted to make sure that the Chargers didn't get going on the ground. So Chargers just like, all right, well, we're just going to run play action all game and see if you adjust. And anytime they ran play action, it seems like there was a Chargers receivers open by 5 yards. I thought that the Chargers came out and had a great statement win in a game that really wasn't as close as the scoreboard suggested it would be. And if the Chiefs want to bounce back, they're just going to have to be better, especially on that defensive front. We talk about Justin Herbert's big scramble. That was great. But that scramble only happened because Chris Jones decided that he wants to try to beat the tackle to the inside, which allowed Herbert to escape contain. And when he did that, there's 20 yards of open field right in front of him. And with the defense being, in man principles, their backs to him. So it feels like
it's such a good call out, Brett. That is such a good call out. Chris Jones played that play so selfishly. I seen it in the moment. I was baffled. That is a perfect call out. I apologize. Continue.
No, you're all good. It just feels like at the end of the day with this team, like Chris Jones will have to be better. The Chiefs defense will have to be better. And offensively, I think it's still going to be a struggle for them to get going for these first 6 weeks. They're going to need Rice back because they don't really have anybody to get open now. Worthy's out. They have Juju. And look, don't let the NFL mandated coverage bust just so they can talk about Taylor Swift's fiance fool you. Travis Kelce couldn't get open all game. So overall, this Chiefs team, I just was not impressed with. And I'll see if they do something week 2 to really change how I feel about them. But I was just not impressed with the Chiefs on Friday at all.
The look-ahead line had the Eagles at a 2.5-point underdog in Kansas City for week 2. After the Eagles game, it stayed at 2.5. After the Chiefs game, it stayed at 1.5. And after the Worthy news, it is now the Philadelphia Eagles are favored to win in Arrowhead week 2. I told you this was going to happen in week 2. And you think I'm crazy. Listen, I'm not. This might go wild. You might think I'm crazy. They're going to have their hands full in New York versus the Giants. And that front four from the Giants is going to get pressure. And without Rashee Rice, without Xavier Worthy, you have Hollywood Brown and senior citizen Kelce. There's no. I'm telling you, they're cooked. You think I'm crazy. Mo, your thoughts on Chiefs Chargers?
Look, the game played out the way I thought it would. Jim Harbaugh is going to run the football. And even though Omarion Hampton didn't have a big game, He's going to run the football because it sets up the play action pass. And Justin Herbert feasted off the play action pass. Every time I watch the Chiefs, all we ever talk about is they have a chance because they have Patrick Mahomes. I don't disagree with that statement, but having a chance doesn't mean you're going to win. Where are the playmakers offensively? They don't have nobody special on the outside. They have good running backs, but nobody in the running back room is elite or special. They're going to have to win with defense and special teams because they're still going to have one of the bottom offenses in the NFL. And the problem they have or they face, guys, is in their division because everybody got better. There are no cupcakes. I don't see how the Chiefs are going to win the division. I agree with Gene. They're going to get off to a really slow start, but I don't know where the light of day is going to come from because with minus playmakers, I don't know what Mahomes and that offensive line, what are they going to be able to do? Like at some point, he becomes human because he can't do everything.
Will?
I think I agree with you in the point that I don't think the Chiefs win that division either. It's just the teams that we differ on. You got the Chargers, I got the Broncos, but I think both teams, I think even the Raiders to a degree have caught up to them. That can give them a run for their money. They're not winning this division. I said that before. The AFC West is going to be tighter than it's ever been. As far as this game, great game by the Chargers, great game. But this indicates more of how bad the Chiefs are. Again, Tyreek Hill, been gone. Travis Kelce looked old. Noah Xavier Worthy. There's nobody outside that you need to fear. Isaiah Pacheco and the rest of that crew, there's nobody that you need to fear in that running back room either. So I don't see how the Chiefs get off to a good start. They're losing next week. My only question is, where's Nick Wright? That's what I want to know. Where is Nick Wright? Where is Nick Wright?
He's making a video about how the Eagles are not a good football team and how he's
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Listen, I counted them out before the season, Carmike. So let's be very clear. My predictions are my predictions. I've always predicted them not to win their division. I think they still can be a wild card team. I think any team with Patrick Mahomes doing this, what?
Tyreek Hill will be back soon.
I mean, that's possible. Tyreek Hill, listen, Miami Dolphins are looking to give him away for some fried rice. Like,
Yep.
We've been saying that Miami was going to be in trouble this season, and this is Mike's last season there, and we do the mayor, the quarterback to the coach. I think it's Tua's gone too. Like they getting ready to do a full on rebuild.
Oh yeah. After week 1.
I mean, you're not wrong. I think Mike's biggest problem is his culture. He has this like vaping, too cool for school, jokey culture. And I just want to ask you, and maybe I'm wrong, who is a coach that you can point at and be like, oh, that guy's that way and he's successful?
None did
Andy
I
Reid
know.
that way?
None did I
Bill
know.
Belichick that way? Is Mike Tomlin that way? Like, show me the coach that's just all hunky-dory, jokey. Oh, like smoking a vape pen on the sideline. It doesn't happen in the NFL. And the culture in Miami is destroyed. You need a strong coach there. A guy that's going to require a lot from his players. I don't know, a guy like Brian Flores. What do you think?
Ooh, bring him back.
I'm kidding. They're not bringing
him back. They ain't gonna bring him back. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it.
They will not gonna have.
They ain't gonna do it. But that's the type of coach. But you're right. That's the type of coach that they need.
We got Monday Night Football tonight. Listen, during the rest of the morning show, I apologize to every other sport. Week 1, the NFL action. Tomorrow, we're gonna talk about other sports, not just the NFL. But today, an NFL day. Week 1, Monday Night Football. Who do you got and why? Give me your 30 seconds elevator speech on who wins tonight. Vikings at Bears, Monday Night Football. I know Damien's been waiting for this the whole show. Brett, let's start with you. Your division.
All right. No, sounds good. It's going to be a fun back and forth game, but I'll take the Vikings. I think that this is going to be a very tough defense for Caleb to crack, for the Chicago Bears to crack. Offensively, all JJ really has to do is get it out to his playmakers. He doesn't have to be fancy or anything. He just has to be efficient and smart with the football. So I think it'll be a close game, but give me the Vikings 20-17.
Okay. Will, where you at?
I got the Vikings. I think this is a TJ Hawkinson game. I think he's going to play very well tonight. We're going to get a good mix of the running game with a combination of Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones. I think the Vikings take it tonight. I'll go 17-13.
Okay. Mo?
I'm going Bears. I don't think Caleb has a clean game, but I think he does just enough to pull it out. I got the Bears winning 2010.
Every one of you guys have picked a very low scoring game. I am going to absolutely shock you guys. I think tonight is going to be a shootout. Caleb Williams and JJ McCarthy are going to go at it. Give me the Bears 34-31 Monday Night Football.
Woo-wee.
Listen, I could be dead wrong. This could be a 6-3 game. But I love the Bears tonight, and I think it's going to be a back and forth. Justin Jefferson, Colston Loveland, Rome Odunze. I think TJ Hawkinson, I think it's going to go nuts tonight. It's going to be an absolute offensive struggle back and forth. Ben Johnson is the one guy who's cracked the Brian Flores code last year with the Lions, the way they went up and down the field versus Minnesota. I think Chicago will be prepared. And then on the other side, you have Minnesota, who Kevin O'Connell has been one of the best quarterback whisperers in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Have Justin Jefferson. I think it's going to be a really good game. 34-31.
Gene, I want to be reminiscent to ask you this. I heard one name you did. I didn't hear one name that I expect you to say. DJ Moore. Do you think he comes through this season, or you think he's going to regress with all those playmakers?
I don't know if the DJ Moore versus Caleb Williams chemistry is there. I think that DJ Moore was solidified in the Justin Fields camp, and I don't know what happened this offseason. I don't know yet. It's one of those things I stay away from because I watched their chemistry last year and it wasn't there. Now you got a new coaching staff and a whole offseason together. I don't know how that plays out. So I can I give you an incomplete?
Yeah.
I'll let you know after 2 weeks.
Real quick question, Gene.
Yes.
Is DJ Moore a number one receiver still?
100% can be.
Okay. I just wanted to make because I think that I don't know if the chemistry is there, but I know what DJ Moore can do as a talent.
That's just a lot of mouths to feed in Chicago with Dunze, Loveland, even Cole Kmet still in the mix. That's a lot of mouths to feed.
They have a lot of weapons. Mm-hmm. You got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are loaded across the field, and they shored up their offensive line. And I truly and genuinely believe that the Bears have a very good season offensively. Do they take a step back defensively? I don't know. We're at 9:59. Two of us have the Bears, two of us have the Vikings, two of us will be wrong. I think I'm the only one with the over. I like the over tonight. Give me the Bears and the over. The NFL Genius was 3-0 on his picks on wire to wire. I plan on hitting 70% this year.
Woo!
Ooh.
I'm planning against the spread, not just winning 70%.
Hello.
But that's all we got for today. I had a great time. Football is back. My ass was plugged onto that couch from 1 p.m. to midnight. 7 hours of football. They didn't say commercial free. But look, Damian, there he is. 35-17. Caleb, you better not screw me over. Damn it. Any final comments, gentlemen? Sports report tonight. What's going on that, Will?
Yes, we're going to go over the NFL Week 1. I'm also going to go over MLB, and I got some things on pro wrestling we're going to talk about tonight as well.
Love it. Mo, anything going on tonight, or you're back at us tomorrow morning?
I'm back at it tomorrow morning. Ready to go. Love
it. And Brett, what's popping in the world of Guardy 3? You got to check out Brett's reaction video to Michael Parsons' first sack, by the way.
Yeah, like I said, tonight I'm actually going to Monday Night Raw. It's in Milwaukee. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then tomorrow you can catch me on Meaty Boys to talk all about it and some more wrestling.
Return of AJ Lee, a cult of personality. I cannot wait for the mixed tag team match. Give me Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Thank you guys for tuning in to Morning the Coffee and Sports. Mo, do me a favor. Close us out.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate you, chat. Make sure you check out all the great content we have on Wire to Wire Network. Wire to Wire Network, we appreciate you.
And speaking of that content, check it out on the outro.